Please note, this video includes the sound of sirens. As I record this voiceover today, it is actually day 13 of the war with Iran. Here in Israel, we are living with constant sirens. Day and night, we run in and out of shelters. In our building, in our case, that means running up and down 7 floors to the basement of the building. Life, as you can imagine, feels chaotic. There is no real schedule right now, and definitely no full night of sleep. Last week, a rocket hit our building. It completely destroyed our next door neighbor's apartment. Since there are only 2 apartments on the 7th floor, our home was hit hard too. 2 rooms are damaged, walls are cracked, and 1 exterior wall has a gap near the roof. Until yesterday, we didn't even know if we could officially get a permission to stay or if we had to move out. We still have no idea when the repairs will even start, and there are so many unknowns in our life right now. And with all that, one thing is clear. I am holding on tightly to my simple daily routines. Cooking, feeding my family, cleaning and decluttering became my ultimate therapy more than they ever did. Homemaking is simply healing for me at the moment. As you might hear in my voice, we all had very little sleep last night. I don't have a proper script written for this vlog. The sirens might interrupt us at any moment, and my 3 kids are in the background learning via Zoom. These are probably all the things you should avoid when recording a voiceover for a vlog, but this is our reality right now, and I'm here to share an update with you, and so we will just work with what we have. Since all of 5 of us are here together most of the time, there is a lot of cooking and feeding to be done. Eyal works from home, and our kids are grown up and always willing to help with the constant cooking and household tasks. It is clear to me that they really want to help. But for the most part, it is on me, the homemaker here, and I am more than happy about that. I can feel it keeps me in balance. Doing these familiar activities makes me feel grounded and safe, and they help me move through all the unknowns we are living with right now. After the last vlog, where I shared the damage that the rocket hit our building, so many of you reached out to ask about us. So many prayers and heartfelt messages came our way and still coming. And many of you asked about the current situation and how we are doing and living with the damage in our home. Many of the questions you ask me, I ask myself as well. Right now, I only have a few answers. But I thought I would share as much as I can with you while I cook and clean and go up and down to the shelter and back. On top of the heavy things, heavy stuff we had to clean after the rocket hit our 7th floor. It left our home very dusty, so there is a lot to clean on top of my daily cleaning routine. And there is also a lot of cooking that needs to be done here, so I hope you will enjoy keep me company as I take care of the things here. Today I'm making a chicken thigh stew. The goal is to cook enough to last us for the next 2 days at least. So I also have some little time left for editing this vlog. And now as I cook, let's start trying to answer some of your questions. And the first one was, can we stay or do we have to leave our home? So, right after the rocket hit, we were asked to quickly leave the building. All 5 of us went up immediately and quickly to see the damage, and quickly packed a few clothes, our computers, and some personal items, and went immediately downstairs for a while. The whole place smelled like fire. There was a huge cloud of dust and broken walls everywhere. Many people came in and out trying to inspect the damage in our flat. Eventually, we were allowed to go back into the apartment, but there were still many people inside, and it was hard to understand who really needed to be there. Later that evening, we finally had a proper conversation with the people in charge. We explained that we, all 5 of us, wanted to stay in the part of the apartment that was not damaged. The first nights were not simple. The room that was hit the most had mattresses and all of our beddings full of broken pieces from the walls and a lot of dust. But our 3 grown kids have a lot of camping experience, and so they managed to sleep together in Tomer's room, which was not damaged. In the meantime, the sirens continue constantly, and we keep going down to the shelter again and again. תודה. In the middle of lunch, we have a siren telling us to go get closer to shelter, and usually it takes a few minutes until the real-time sirens come. We are heating the food. It got cold. תודה, מאיה. One more siren. קומה ראשונה. אולי תוריד אותו.
אבל לא עם רופא, איפה? כן. אני לא ראיתי, כאילו שאלה רוצה...
הולדת לסבתא, חג לה שמח וזר לה פורח, יום יום הולדת לסבתא, חג לה שמח וזר לה I'm just back upstairs from the shelter, catching my breath, and now we can continue this voiceover. And back to the story, as we say. In the middle of all this, we also managed to celebrate my mother-in-law's birthday. She has a shelter in her apartment, which we obviously had to use. And this is also answers another question many of you asked. Eyal's mom has a shelter in her apartment. My dad lives in an old building like us, but luckily he's on the first floor, so he only goes down one floor to the shelter. My dad works as a night shift worker, as a security guard at one of the museums here, and the place where he stays at nights is a protected area. Three or maybe 2 days after the rocket hit here, it's really hard in this situation to keep it on track what days it is. But I think it was 2 or 3 days after. It was, I think, the third construction engineer that came to inspect the apartment. He checked very carefully the walls again and said we could very carefully enter the damaged rooms. He said about Uri's room that we can clean it and move the bed to the opposite wall so Uri could sleep there again, which made the kid very happy. It took us a long time, but all 5 of us cleaned the room and the damage the rocket left behind. And we understand this is only a temporary solution, and some of the broken walls are shared with the neighbor's apartment, which is now completely destroyed, and another exterior wall moved slightly. And because of that, the room and the whole apartment are very cold. We got extra blankets and a lot of love and support from our neighbors and friends and family. And as you can see, sirens are constantly keeping on working here. איפה הייתה הנפילה? זה מה שהוא אמר?
אבל הוא כאילו אומר, במקומות שיש ממ"דים ניתן לעבוד.
על הדרך הממ"ד? דרך הלוך וחזור?
לא דרך לממ"ד, דרך לעבודה.
When the repairs will start is one of the questions I've been asked a lot. And it is also one of the questions that we are asking here as well. We don't really know when the repairs will start or how long we will be able to stay living here. Once the construction work begins, we will not be able to live here. This is clear. A repair of this kind is going to be a big project, as you can imagine. First, the rocket came through the roof and left a large hole in the roof of this building. So the work will most likely start there and only later move to the exterior and the shared walls. To be completely honest with you, the biggest discussion here at the moment is whether we can stay here until the construction starts, and we still, in this very moment, don't have a clear answer to that. But on the other hand, if they will eventually tell us you have to leave now, moving during war with constant sirens is also not a simple thing to do. The place is still so dusty that cleaning feels endless. So in the meantime, I stay busy taking care of my nest, even if right now it is a bit of a broken nest. And every day I light candles and pray and thank the sky that protected us and our dear, dear neighbors from this rocket. We are all very grateful. Taking things in proportions, the damage here is only physical and everyone here is safe. Cleaning all the damage the rocket left here, especially the heavy wall pieces and the dust, really damaged our skin, our hands. And it is also very cold and very dry here right now. So I'm making a simple tallow balm, something that I know will help all of us. I gently heat about 4 to 5 tablespoons of homemade grass-fed tallow. Then I add about 2 tablespoons of jojoba oil and 2 tablespoons of castor oil and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. I also add 3 to 4 drops of lavender oil because I just can't help it, but we all have sensitive skin, so this is only for the scent, and honestly, it is completely optional. I use this balm on many things, on my hands, body, face, and even a little on the ends of my hair, and sometimes on, chopping boards and wooden boards. I think if you ever decide to make something like this yourself, I always suggest first testing a small amount on a small patch of skin, especially if it is your first time using it. Usually I would whip it to make it a more fluffy white cream, but I don't really have the time for it right now. So I place it in the refrigerator for a few minutes to let it harden a little. Then I will take it out and place it somewhere everyone can use it, usually in the bathroom. For now, our main bathroom was also heated by the rocket, so it is not in use, but we can still use the countertop, so I guess I will leave it there for everyone. And I can see my sourdough starter is just about ready to go, but first it's lunchtime. And Maya made this fresh salad today, and we enjoy it with leftovers from yesterday's chicken stew, with homemade sauerkraut and homemade olives that we picked from our tree a few months ago, and they are finally ready to eat. We are so blessed with so many good people around us who keep sending little goodies to help keep our spirit up. I'm embarrassed to say, but we get so many good things, more than we can ever, use ourselves. So a lot of it we take downstairs to the shelter with us so our neighbors can enjoy it as well. I think making sourdough is one of the most grounding homemaking routines. It makes me feel safe at home, a simple and strong sense of security. We went out for a walk and we have sirens, so we have to go back to our building to get into the shelter. The Purim festival the Scouts build in our neighborhood is still up, as you can see. They will take everything down once they get permission to work together outside. Eyal and I don't give up. We go back to our daily walk once we get a sign that it is okay to leave the shelter. But a few minutes later, another siren sounds, and we end up in a shelter of another building in our neighborhood. Human makes war while Mother Nature is busy making spring. Our geranium smells like heaven on earth. It has the most delicate purple bloom. The clementine tree is in full bloom. Standing underneath it, the scent makes you forget about the war for a tiny beautiful moment. I know it might sound strange, at least it is strange and new for me, but I find myself not reaching out for my knitting and crochet project at all. First, we spend a lot of time in the shelter with our neighbors and small kids. It is noisy and restless, especially right after the sirens and the booms that comes after everyone tries to check where it fell and if people are safe. And I also don't really like the attention that knitting gets, especially in times like these. And as you can see, I spend most of my time cooking, so maybe it also takes a lot of my creative energy, but it is what it is.
זה מטורף לגמרי, לא תודה רבה. ממש.
On the other hand, I really enjoy reading my book, especially this Japanese book that I'm reading now. And strangely enough, I was just thinking to myself that this book has somehow healing effect on me. And the morning after this thought crossed my mind, I read a comment from one of my lovely Japanese followers here who wrote something like, "I'm so glad to see you read this Japanese book. Japanese novels are healing." Many of you ask about the pets in our building, and especially about this little handsome guy. This is Sonny, my neighbor's cat. Every time we go down to the shelter, he sits right next to me. Feeling his soft fur in my hands brings my stress level down, and I think he knows that. לא. I am tired of this war, tired of this situation, and worried about what the future will look like for my family and for our home. But I'm very grateful that we are all safe, and I know I need to stay strong and keep my spirit up so that we can come out on the other side of this challenge stronger and hopefully happier. Meanwhile, I find comfort in simple homemaking and in taking care of my nest, keeping my small everyday routines to stay sane. And as many of you ask, Eyal's back is much better, but it is still not 100%. And so many of you reach out with love and prayers, leaving heartfelt comments and asking how you can help us. The truth is that just watching my vlogs and leaving your kind words already helps more than you can imagine. Words really do have a powerful impact. Thank you for spending this time with me and for your kindness. I know many of you are worried about us, and I hope I answered at least some of your questions. I will do my best to keep you updated whenever I can. Meanwhile, I send you all my love. Thank you so much for being here. This is the current situation in Tomer's room, our youngest, which was not damaged. And this is the situation in our youngest, Tomer's room. This room was not get damaged, and here, as for now, Maya sleeps here.